But I've just seen too many dancers in my day be like, okay, technically, but they just get all this attention and they just seem to capture the hearts of the people who watch them. Hey dancers, it's Kirsten. Welcome back to the Confident Dancer YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about the elusive X factor that some dancers seem to have. You know, that special quality that's like that star quality, let's say, that maybe if you're like me, you're like, how do I get that? I don't feel like I just had that. I will say that I feel, and I don't want to flatter myself, but I feel like over the years of exploring this deep mystery of like what makes some dancers just shine, what makes them magnetic as performers, what makes people just their eyes just go towards them. I've explored this a lot and I've learned some things that then I've applied to my dancing and I've experienced some results that make me feel like I've learned to embody it a little bit more. I'm not saying I came out of the womb in a grand jeté or that I'm some like superstar, but I do think that the X factor, let's say, if maybe you resonate, I learned or I heard that term a lot when I was younger. Maybe let's just say star quality. I used to think that it was just fixed, that you have it or you don't. Now, I have a bit more of a nuanced view. I do think there are some aspects of those qualities that we can actually learn and that we can adopt to enhance our sense of star quality and become a magnetic performer. I do think there is some truth to talent. You know, there are some people where it's just like, dang, you were genuinely born to dance, okay? I don't really feel like that was me. I just chose to dance and I like it. Maybe that's you too, but I do think that we can move closer to embodying the star quality and being a magnetic performer if we learn from these tips that I'm going to share with you. So let me know what you think of them in the comments, and I'd love to know what you think about like what makes a performer magnetic. Let's go, shall we? Number one, I think what makes a dancer have like a star quality, what makes them magnetic to watch, is authenticity. I really believe that. It's so easy to just think it's about perfection, but I've just seen too many dancers in my day be like, okay, technically, but they just get all this attention and they just seem to capture the hearts of the people who watch them. To my frustration when I was younger, I was like, what is this? Like, I was definitely in this game of like, the more perfect you are technically, the more people will like you. But that wasn't actually playing out in my reality. What I learned from watching these dancers who had this star quality is that they had this authenticity about them where they were willing to make like artistic choices that were their own and that showed part of who they are or what they felt or what they thought or what they like or how they like to interpret a combination. I think that authenticity requires vulnerability and self-trust. It requires a certain level of confidence that's very attractive. Confidence in general is very attractive, and I think authenticity and confidence can kind of go hand in hand. They're not the same thing, but it requires some confidence to be authentic, and confidence is also very attractive, like I said. But I think authenticity is something that people are uniquely drawn to. Like, yes, confidence is attractive, but confidence without authenticity, I think it's not endearing. And this star quality is something that endears the viewer to the dancer. Like, it makes us like them. And so I think authenticity is the trait number one that you could benefit from focusing on if you want to be a magnetic performer who people love to watch. And the way you can apply that is ask yourself, how do I want to dance? How would the real me interpret this? What do I think? Instead of, I think what takes away our authenticity is always being in our head being like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this the way my teacher likes it? Do they like it? Is it okay? You know, kind of like second guessing and only doing what you're told or only doing what you think other people will like. That's not very authentic. Like, that's kind of a student move instead of like an artist move. Authenticity, my friends. Number two is vulnerability. I really believe that a true artist can tap into their vulnerability. And that's what creates like that openness. Vulnerability is like being open sharing, kind of having this open portal where people can feel your emotion, they can feel who you really are, you're really putting your all out there as you dance. It helps people to feel connected to you, but it's also very vulnerable. It requires the choice to be vulnerable and let people see some imperfections, or to let people see who you really are and how you really dance, and to decide that they don't like it. Like, that's super vulnerable. And so it requires courage to be vulnerable. But that vulnerability of being willing to put it all out there and to be true to yourself, I think that is so mesmerizing when I see it. Like, when a performer is just raw in their interpretation and they understand the concept that I share in so many of my videos, which is that we all know consciously, like, we can't be perfect, but so often we are spending so much of our energy trying to hold back and like hide our imperfections that we only put like 70% of our talent out there instead of 100%, which is naturally going to involve a few slip-ups, a few flaws. Like, really, and I think sometimes people like misunderstand that point. They're like, well, Kirsten, like, you don't want to mess up. I'm like, yeah, I know you don't want to, but like, the vulnerability piece is like understanding that it's gonna kind of happen anyway, so don't hold yourself back. Or people are going to see how you really dance anyway, so don't fool yourself thinking that by kind of holding back that they're not gonna see how you really dance. So vulnerability, emotionally, technically, physically, like putting yourself out there, that is a very magnetic quality in a performer. And I'll say number 3, it's kind of connected to number 2, but specifically, I think it's a star quality to express real emotion that you're actually feeling. I think vulnerability is a precursor for that. Vulnerability is like this openness, this ability to be seen, like really seen, but to use that vulnerability to then actually like tap into a real feeling that maybe the music stirs up in you, or that just dance stirs up in you, or the feeling that you bring into the studio that day, or whatever, like if that's appropriate. Not always, I understand. Sometimes I come into the studio excited for the mood boost of ballet, so I don't necessarily want to express what I showed up feeling, but I want to express like the joy that really hearing and feeling the music brings me. Okay, so hopefully that provides some helpful nuance. I really think that it's such an amazing quality that draws my eye to a performer when they're not just like, I'm smiling, I'm happy, but they like are digging deep and they're like finding that happiness within them, and they're feeling it for real. They're really feeling it, and they're sharing real happiness through their dancing and their expression. We can feel that as we watch other people dance. You can feel when it's fake. And so I'd say like a star quality is tapping into a real feeling and sharing that vulnerably through your dancing. This next one might sound kind of vague, but I'm just gonna put it out there. So I think that an X factor quality is like having an aura about you, like a radiance. You radiate something that's positive. Of course, like it's easy to radiate something that's negative. It doesn't take a star quality, and that definitely attracts attention as well. But how to stand out in a good way is to actually think about like, what am I radiating when I dance? And I think this really taps it, like to apply this point, it requires some deeper self-work, like inner work, mentally and emotionally, to see like, are you thriving as a person? Are you taking care of your well-being? Do you really know yourself? Do you have empowering beliefs about yourself? Have you worked on building authentic confidence and self-worth and self-belief? I think that really shines through. Like when you have those things and you've connected with yourself in that way and you've worked on yourself, that allows you to radiate what you want to radiate, like whether it's joy, confidence, authenticity, radiating your true essence as a person. Like I have clients where we've talked about like what their essence is that they want to bring into their audition, what makes them unique as a dancer. And I think it's really worth to explore like, what is my essence as a person and how can I share that through my dancing? And it's different for different people. Like for me, my essence might be like I have a lot of passion and intensity and energy, but also like this regalness when I dance that I really like to radiate, and it feels very true to me when I dance, like radiating also a confidence and a joy. Like there are lots of words I would use to describe it, but I have a very clear mental picture and feeling of like what it feels like when I'm in it, even though I could use like 300 words to describe it. And some clients I've worked with, like, we discovered that their essence is like regal, it's calm, it's like maybe meek and quiet, but it's something that like draws a lot of attention in instead of being like loud, like look at me. And that's beautiful and it's very true to them. So I'd recommend for you, like, explore what is your essence as a person and how can you bring that into your dancing. Hey there, I hope you're really enjoying this video, but I just need to ask you something really quick. Is self-doubt really just sucking the joy out of dancing for you? Is being in your head and being self-critical and not feeling good enough, like even if you look fine on the outside and you know you're just plowing along, is that affecting your ability to perform and enjoy dance while you're at it? If those mental struggles sound familiar, or others like performance anxiety, perfectionism, comparing yourself to other dancers, any of those things, if those are impacting your ability to perform your best and feel your best consistently, then you don't have to keep struggling. I'm so passionate about this, and I want to talk to you about the Confident Dancer Coaching Program. This is a coaching program that focuses on the mental side of dance, where you and I can work together individually to truly help you to build the belief in yourself, let go of all the negative programming in your mind that's impacting your ability to perform in your experience, and help you truly build the confidence to thrive as a dancer and fulfill your personal potential. If that's something that you want, you can click the link in my description box to visit kirstenkemp.com, learn more about the Confident Dancer Coaching Program, what it includes, how it works, read incredible testimonials from past clients who've worked with me, and schedule a free 30-minute consultation where you and I can connect, talk about your goals and challenges, absolutely no strings attached, and just see if working together would be a great fit for you and your goals. If that's something you're interested in, definitely take advantage of that free consultation. Give yourself a chance to truly thrive as a dancer, and I hope to talk to you soon. I also want to just briefly say that my group coaching program, the Confident Dancer Collective, will be opening doors for enrollment again soon. This will be a new and improved version. Details will come out shortly, but I want to invite you to check out the description box and sign up for my email newsletter, where you can be the first to just really stay tuned on the details of the new and improved program and know when enrollment opens. There will be early bird enrollment bonuses, so be in the know, sign up for my email newsletter, and that is all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. Let's move on with it. The next aspect of having that X factor is being courageous enough to be different, to make different choices, and to stand out in a good way. I think that's really important. And I will say, like, it's not an X factor thing to, or like a star quality thing to like force your way into having attention or be like, look at me, I'm so different, and to like, I don't know about you, but I've seen lots of dancers who like hold a balance longer than everyone else or do something kind of different than everyone else because they're like, I hope people notice me. That rubs me the wrong way personally, and I think it rubs other people the wrong way personally. I think that, but there's a difference between that and like really holding like an arabesque a little longer before you do your entrelace and your tortite, you know, because you're feeling it and you're like really dancing. You're really dancing. There's a difference between that and being like, look at me, I want to do it to like be different than the other girls and like stand out. Like, we can feel the vibe, it's different. But being courageous to be different, even in the example of like, there's so many times where a teacher demonstrates something one way and then most of the class forgets and they do it differently, but you have the opportunity to be like, no, this was the arm, and you do it, like not in a snooty kind of way, but you just do it because you know that's how it's supposed to be. That is something that is like, ooh, they have the courage to be different in a good way, not for the sake of being different, but for following what is true, what is good, what is lovely. If you know, you know. The next trait is being present and open and like grounded in the moment instead of being in your head judging what you're doing as you're doing it. Like, I can definitely tell when a dancer is in their head. It's like their eyes are just different versus when they're present. And so as much as you can, shift your awareness from like having a conversation with yourself about how things are going, you know, being like, oh, that was good, that was bad, that was good, that was bad, as you're dancing, instead of just like being in the moment, just dancing, feeling it instead of thinking about it so much and having like a mental commentary on what you're doing. that actually shows in your face and in your energy and your expression. And so I think that's a great simple change. I'm not saying easy, but a simple shift that you can make to start attracting the right kind of attention. Next, it is a major star quality to deeply know, like really know that you are not for everyone. Not everyone has to like you, and that's okay. It is such a star quality thing too. I think a way to rephrase that is knowing your personal brand and being totally okay with the fact, doesn't mean you always have to like it, but like deeply accepting the fact that since you have your own flavor of dancing, it's okay if you're chocolate and some people like vanilla, you know? If you order that strawberry ice cream and some people like sorbet, you know? That is okay without being like, oh, I'm the strawberry ice cream, I should be the sorbet because more people would like me if I was like that. No. Embracing that you're not going to be everyone's preference in every moment, but you definitely have a time and a place, and you have an audience, and you are for those people, and they are for you. And embracing that, celebrating it, and just being confident in that. I think that's a big power move that's very attractive. Lastly, I will say it's such a star quality to be a grounded, calm, and confident presence in a room. Oftentimes, dance communities and spaces are spaces where there's a lot of insecurity, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of self-judgment. And personally, I can really feel that from people. I'm also one of those people who's like, I feel people's energy and I like interpret people's body language. It's like part of what makes me a good coach, but it's like sometimes it's just a lot to take in. But anyway, in a sea of people who are emanating that, being the grounded, calm, and confident presence, like trusting yourself, trusting the process. I know it's simple to say, not always easy to do. I get that, but it's a process that you can be devoted to growing in, and that will be so worth your while, because I can tell you, and I've said this many times on this YouTube channel, I've actually had experiences where I've been in these big cattle call professional company auditions, and I genuinely don't believe it was my technique that was getting me noticed, because there were plenty of people who had a better body and technical base than me. But I was decisively emanating confidence, joy, and groundedness because I decided like that's what I had to offer. And I consistently noticed that when I embodied it, people noticed. I think that is a really amazing move that you can make, like owning where you're at, who you are, what you have to offer. And that's where that mindset work comes in, that, you know, I'm here for you if you want help with that. That's what my mindset coaching services are for. So obviously, if you want to grow in this, I genuinely believe it can have a drastic impact on your career outcomes, whether you want to make it a career or not, and definitely your personal experience of dance. So yeah, being that calm, grounded, confident presence, that definitely turns heads, and it's like, oh, they're different. Wow. So dancers, I hope that you really enjoyed this video and got a lot of benefit from it. I would love to know what you think in the comments, and I hope to see you in next week's video. Thanks for watching. Bye.